Well, hi, I'm Bob from My Life in 75 Square Feet. And I want to share a place that I was lucky enough to find out about. And I went there and I stayed there for 2.5 weeks. It's called Slab City, California, or the Slabs. I'm doing a video series, so there's at least 2 more videos to come on Slab City. One video is already in the can, and it's on Salvation Mountain, and it's about a little bit over 10 minutes. I really encourage you to watch this. It's going to be coming out in a couple days, and I encourage you to watch the whole thing. I don't know how I'm going to use the rest of the footage I have, so there may be 1 or 2 more videos on Slab City. I heard so much about this place, and I watched videos about it. After watching these videos, I said I'm only going to go there for 1 day, and it's only going to be at daytime. I'm not going to be there after dark. Who knows what's going to come out after dark. There's no way. Everyone said this is such a scary place and told me not to go there by myself. By now, I think a lot of you know the way I do things. I do things by myself, so I wasn't going to change for Slab City. Since I was only going to be there for a day and then out, what could possibly go wrong in broad daylight? You know, no matter how bad of a place it is. I gotta admit, I was really skeptical. So, what is the Slabs? The Slabs got its name for the concrete slabs that remained after the Marines abandoned their World War II barracks of Camp Dunlop in the Sonora Desert. It's about 156 miles northeast of San Diego, and it's about 169 miles southeast of LA. This area has since been converted into a snowbird community for retirees and squatters. People that dwell there may be referred to as slabbers. There are about 150 year-round residents in the slabs. But for most people, it just gets too hot. So it's like an October to end of March kind of thing. The snowbirds I met there stay there for the winter before migrating back up north. To many people, the Slabs is known as the last free place on Earth because it doesn't cost to park your RV or van there. It's all free. Basically, there are no rules in the Slabs. Well, let's say official rules. There are rules and you best not break one. More on that later. There's no official electricity, running water, sewers, toilets, garbage removal. Many residents use solar and generators for their electric. The closest town is Nyland, which is about 4 miles southwest of Slab City. The streets in the Slabs have names and numbers, just like any community would. I saw UPS trucks there, so I guess you could get a delivery there, as crazy as that sounds. To tell you the truth, you already know more about this place than I did before I got there. The only things I knew, there was a place called Salvation Mountain and another place called East Jesus. And it's a dangerous place. I guess as soon as I heard dangerous, I was all in. Before I went there, I read accounts of other people that went there, and I watched YouTube videos. One account was really scary. The person had to run for his life in order to get out of there, and it was in pitch dark. Who knows how true that was? I think most of that story was just drama that he made up to make it sound better. I also watched a YouTube video where a guy depicted the Slabs as a very, very dangerous place. He went on and on about how dangerous it was, but the craziest thing, his videos contain more footage from the abandoned buildings in Nyland than it did for Slab City. He didn't even get past Salvation Mountain. Some video that wasn't even a close representation of Slab City. I think he was just a big chicken. To get to the Slabs, you have to go through Nyland, and the first place you encounter, about 4 miles away, is Salvation Mountain. I was very skeptical as I drove from Nyland. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. At least when I'm in the mountains, I know what I'm getting into. Not here though. I found that there are so many lies about this place. Yeah, it's dangerous. Someone got stabbed when I was there, and I think he died. He was a true slabber, not an RVer like me. One of the locals told me he had a lot of problems with residents in the slabs, and this was a very isolated incident. Nonetheless, hearing the ambulance come in there that morning was a little strange. One thing I found out, if you break a rule and don't heed warnings, you could be burned out of your home. One of my next videos will show some burnout homes. One basic rule is don't owe anyone any money. And if you do, make sure you pay them back. Some of the slabbers I met were really nice, and why not? They're living in a place where nobody bothers them and everything is free. Most people were very peaceful. Everybody there was really nice to me. I can't even think of one person who wasn't nice to me. There are groups of people that come there every single year, and their spots are clearly marked off. One of the groups is called the Slabs, and the other one is Traveling Pals. And I made friends with a lot of those guys. The Slabs used to be a much larger group, and I stayed in the overflow area that they used. The Traveling Pals seemed like a really good group, because every week they had a breakfast or a dinner, and you could buy breakfast for like $5. You could get dinner for, I don't know what it was, $7 or $8, and they were really, really nice people. Both of these groups are made up of older RVers, and their sizes are starting to go down. Not as many people as there used to be. It's kind of sad for them, and when I talk to them about it. Slab City is like every small town, with various services. There's even a legitimate business, Solar Mics, which installs solar powers for RVs and vans. I really like Mike. He knew me by name. Although people ask me to do their solar work for them, I always sent them to Mike, although I helped a few people here and there. When I was there, Mike installed a brand new solar system on a $250,000 brand new RV for somebody that I knew there. And how could you not like Mike? He's always smiling and he's so nice. He told me I could use his saw and any of his tools anytime I wanted to. He's really a good guy. And why not? He has a business there with no overhead. Oh, the American way. You know, they have other attractions like the Range, which is a nightclub, and it's on Saturday nights as soon as it gets dark. And you never know who might show up there. Most of the time it's local people from the Slabs, but you never know when they're going to get a name band in there. It just shows up and they come on and do a performance. And I went there one night and I didn't go alone. It was after dark and we walked a half a mile to get there. You probably wouldn't go alone either. The Slabs has an internet cafe, a library, a hostel, East Jesus, and West Satan. Now there's going to be more about those in following videos. I met so many people in Slab City and I ended up staying there for 2.5 weeks. Some one day that was. You know, I made good friends with some people there. I hung out with Roger and Bob number 1 every day. I was Bob number 2 because Bob number 1 got there before me, so Roger called me Bob number 2. We met every morning at 6:30 to watch the sun go up and to drink our coffee. I don't think there was coffee in Roger's mug, but that's another story. Roger and Bob number 1 were both Army helicopter pilots. They were lots of fun. We were always laughing. When I left there, they called me almost every day telling me, "We miss you. Please come back." I really missed them too. But I had to keep moving onward. You know, I still talk to Bob number 1 almost every week, and he's still there. Roger's gone. Who knows where Roger went? New people come and go all the time, and Bob number 1 tells me all about these characters. Oh, some characters they are. Roger has an older RV with solar power that was done about 10 years ago, and I don't even know how that solar power works. let alone why his RV didn't catch on fire. I wanted to install at least 3 circuit breakers to protect that thing from burning up. Roger wouldn't have it. No protection. That's what he said. I've been living like this for 10 years. I'm not changing. Solar Mike and I both predicted smoke. Lots of smoke. I really hope it never happens. Never. Bob number 1 has an Airstream that he pulls behind his truck. He also has 2 dogs. Every morning while we drank our coffee, his dogs went on runs for over an hour. I have no idea where those things went, but they always came back. While there, I met up with people from the Win RV Singles group who I spent Thanksgiving dinner with, and I rekindled some more relationships with them. Some other people in our little tiny community, and I hope not to forget anybody. Hollywood Bob, yeah, the 3rd Bob. He had an RV, and he had something to do in the movie business, so that's why they named him Hollywood Bob. He was a fun guy too. Aaron, a van dweller like myself, was a retired mechanic. I don't remember where he was from, but he knew a lot of people. He knew the Slab Lows, he knew Traveling Pals. He had a lot of connections in the Slabs because he's been there for years. He was a good person to have around when we were working on stuff. He always had tools that we might not have had. Peter, like me, was an ex-IBMer. We had a lot in common. And he had an RV as well, and I think he was from Wisconsin. He loved hot springs, so he would go from hot spring to hot spring. I don't know, I never found those hot springs to be that great. Harlan was from Alaska, and he had a 5th wheel, big one. It was a pretty cool rig. Harlan's TV came in better than anybody else's. Richard was from Canada, and he had an RV. Harlan and Richard would go on motorcycle rides. They had these bikes that they would go out into the desert with. I wished I had a bike to go with them, and they wished I had a bike to go with them. We would have had a really good time. Roger, Peter, Richard, and Harlan have been doing this for a long time, and they taught me other places to go other than Slab City. Oh, we had such a good time together. All in all, it was a crazy time. Many people come to Slab City for the winter. I'll go there again, maybe next year, but we'll have to see. I encourage you to go there at some point. That is, if you're up for a little bit of an adventure. I hope you watch the videos to follow. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, I ask that you please subscribe to my channel and ding the little bell so you'll be notified of my next videos that come out. Always watch the ads. Feel free to check out my other videos. Salvation Mountain is next. Till next time.